I believe that your staff conducted some autopsies of the election, and I'm looking for lessons learned. And in particular, I mean, to what extent do you assign blame to Bernie Sanders, to the media for focusing on emails?
How much time do we have?
To President Obama for not raising the issue of the Russia ties more, or to yourself?
Well, you'll have to interview me after my book comes out, because seriously, this is a very fair question, and we have spent a lot of time, we, the proverbial, multitudinous we, both people who worked on the campaign, people who were interested observers, and others, trying to sort of piece it all together. And there are lots of contributing factors, as there would be to any big enterprise like this. I mean, I basically started a billion-dollar startup and ran it for 18 months. And so there are things we certainly could have done better. There are things I certainly could have done better. But I think it is fair to say that the outside intervention, the combination of the Comey letter on October 28th, WikiLeaks, which played a much bigger role than I think many people understand yet, had the determinative effect. Nate Silver, whom you know well, and who was much more cautious throughout the election, saying, well, this could happen, still thought I was going to win, and his autopsy was, but for the Comey letter on October 28th, I would have won. And so I think there are credible outside voices that I'm also trying to, bring together and analyze, because for people who read my book, who are interested in this, the nearly 66 million people who voted for me, I want to give as clear and as credible an explanation of these factors as I can. So I don't want to short circuit it now, but certainly I and everybody around, we've gone over and over and over and have learned some lessons. And I think that gets me back to sort of Russia, in the sense that one of the lessons I think we've learned is that since they were successful in influencing voters, it's different from, the interference with the actual voting machines. And for a while there was a confusion about that. A lot of people said, well, can you prove that people interfere with the machines? That's something, put that to one side. Although, there are people who pursue that, but put that to one side. It was really the weaponization of information, something that Putin has used inside Russia, outside Russia, to great effect, that we didn't, and I'll say this for myself, I didn't fully understand how impactful that was. And so it created doubts in people. But then the Comey letter, coming as it did just 10 days before the election, really raised serious questions in a lot of people that I think were obviously unfounded, but nevertheless happened. So I think there's a combination. So we've got to be really clear, Democrats, Republicans, whatever, what was done in that election, what was unprecedented, and be willing to say we can't let that happen again. Look, I don't want any Republican candidate to be subjected to what I was subjected to. I don't want anybody running campaigns or the Republican Party to have their communications stolen, which is what it was. It was a theft. It was a more effective theft even than Watergate back in the day. So I want people to say, hey, we should have tough, really aggressive campaigning that goes with the territory, but we aren't going to let somebody sitting in the Kremlin with 1,000 agents, with bots and trolls and everybody else trying to mix up in our election. We've got to end that, and we need to make sure that's a bipartisan American commitment.